Carol Vickers, and together with Liz Christofferson, we have the pleasure of hosting these webinars for DirectPay. As you know, DirectPay supports entrepreneurs and small business owners like yourselves through providing not only payment services, but business advice and really some hands-on, person-to-person services. And also through these wonderful education and learning opportunities, such as the Business Mastery Series. You can find out more about the services from DirectPay by speaking to them. You can contact them at www.directpayinc.com and speak to someone personally about your business and your business needs. Their commitment to ongoing training and development led to these webinars, which gives you opportunities to learn from some of the best minds in the business. Today we have the delight of hearing from Stefanie Hostetter, the founder of Host Management. Before I introduce Steph, I just want to manage just a little housekeeping. We will be happy to answer your questions at the end of the presentation. Just type them into the question box and I will make sure that Steph gets them. And if you have any problems during the presentation, just let me know in the question box or chat box and I will make sure to do my best to take care of any technical difficulties. And let me introduce Stefanie. Stefanie Hostetter is the social host and founder of Host Management. Host Management's purpose is to help people grow by helping businesses grow, by finding and fixing inefficiencies in businesses and sales processes. She helps companies run smoother with improved client satisfaction and increased sales. She also helps companies do more meaningful work, elevate their cultures, and raise team morale by assessing and aligning company ideals with HR practices, sales practices, goals, and client needs. Ultimately, Host Management helps businesses work better. The sales, social media, and content management packages focus on the creation of functional and streamlined sales processes and the implementation of useful tech tools to help businesses run more efficiently and help salespeople make more sales. Their marketing management packages help companies stay on track and on budget with outreach initiatives. Client management and customer service setup packages help businesses make the most of opportunities and serve your clients best. Finally, their business outlook packages help companies create meaningful projections, useful budgets, and ensure return on investments. Stefanie is a delightful person to get to know, and she has just a marvelous way of bringing the technical into an understandable and wonderful approach. And I just want to pass the baton to her. And thank you, Stefanie, for sharing your brilliance with us today.
Oh, thanks, Carol. What a great introduction. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Perfect. Basically, today we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube for Business, and I'll just run through a quick introduction of all the topics we're going to cover. So if you have to step out, you can come back in or be sure to catch the recording at the end. All in 60 minutes. Hold on to your seats. We're going to talk about 7 ways to use YouTube or video for your business. We're going to talk about content planning creation, programs to use. We're going to talk about video best practices for taping, editing, adding your descriptions to YouTube, your calls to action, and best practices for video, using video on your blog or website. And throughout, we're going to talk about some of the apps and the programs that are easy and relatively inexpensive to use. Some of them do cost something, and I'll let you know what those are. And we're also going to look at interesting examples. So I am going to show some videos during this presentation of companies doing video right or using video in an innovative way. At the end, I'll give you a checklist to get the most out of your video work, and a special offer at the end to get you implementing using video with success. So here we go. Basically, there are 7 uses for video in business that I've come up with. You might think of other video uses, and add your thoughts to your list. So the first use is marketing. And I do realize that's a bit obvious. All of the 7 uses have to do with marketing your business, but this particular one I think is what we refer to as advertising or a commercial using video. So I'll call this step commercial. And I want to just take a second to consider why video is so effective as a commercial for your business or as marketing for your business. One of my favorite quotes is from Maya Angelou. She said at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or what you did. They'll remember how you've made them feel. And I think this is especially true for business. With video, there's no other art form that elicits more feeling than film. And we know that in our case, video. Think about film as mass media. Nothing on this earth moves more people to action. Nothing encourages more thought or criticism than TV or film. Books can elicit emotion, but if you've ever gone into a good book, obviously you know that. But film, with film as mass media, we have the ability to move millions of more people. It's more accessible than books. If you can't be in front of your target market in person, I recommend getting in front of them with a short film or a video. You can do more things in film than in person in a shorter amount of time. So let's look at a quick, short marketing piece that is meant to make you feel something. And give me 1 sec for technology. I'm going to try this hands-free thing again. Hold on. So that video was just a quick video of Google Glass, their new product. I don't know if you've tested it out yet, but it was intended to give you a first-person view of what it is like to use Google Glass. And I think that you get a real feel for what the product is. And we can't do that in any other way than through video. We can show the possibilities of our product, of our service, in a very short time frame and very inexpensively. Now that commercial was quite expensive for Google to make, I'm sure. Can you still hear me? Yeah, I did this hands-free thing, and I'm just testing it out. Okay.
No problem.
All right, so you can do more things in film. There are some benefits to using YouTube as opposed to putting a commercial together for a TV network. One of the benefits is that you can create a great commercial that's not limited to a 30-second spot, although I don't recommend going over a minute or 2 minutes if you're making a commercial sort of advertisement. And it also doesn't cost as much as the TV time slot, obviously, but it can get costly. One of the cons of putting all of your sort of advertising on YouTube is that you do have to get people to watch it somehow. So it needs to be really creative. It needs to be interesting. It needs to be shareable. The audience is not handed to you by the TV networks, and that can get costly. Basically, you can make a video as inexpensively as you'd like. Use your iPhone, tape yourself, talk about yourself. It might not get shared as much. Or it could be as expensive as this Google Glass video where you've seen people horseback riding and in hot air balloons and carving ice sculptures and all that sort of thing. So there are a couple of benefits and a couple of cons to using YouTube for your video. Video doesn't have to be about creating a great commercial, however, and getting others to watch it. You can use video at a number of different points in your sales and marketing processes, and those are the other 6 uses for video that I've come up with. So if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll notice that I have a few videos on there explaining how-tos, but most of my videos are unlisted because most of my videos are not for the purposes of marketing my company explicitly. They are more for individual interactions with individual clients of mine. So I'll get into that in just 1 second. Okay, the second use for video is what I like to call surprise and delight. This seems to be a phrase that's being thrown all over the internet lately, surprise and delight your clients. With social media, with Web 2.0, with the technology that we have right now, we have the ability to offer individual customer service that is far beyond what we've ever imagined in the past. And we can give individual attention and insight and presentations to clients. So if you're in a high-touch industry like real estate, you can do little videos for individual clients using something called BombBomb. So this is an app. I'll tell you, this is an app alert. It's BombBomb is like MailChimp or email marketing on steroids. It allows you to send HTML videos through email. You can send them as mass emails. You can track what people click on. You can track which people have seen your video. You can send little happy birthday messages to a client if you're in a very high-touch industry. This is just a new thing that we can do to make our clients and our transactions that much more personal and our customer service that much more personal. So BombBomb is an interesting app. It does cost about $25 a month. You can make videos for clients individually and put them on YouTube for free and send your clients a link and have it be a private video, so only that client who the video address is can see it. So that's one way to use video. You might want to use it in your sales process. That brings me to the third use for video, which was video as a sales tool for a complicated product or service. This allows you to do a demonstration on your website if you're offering something that requires some explanation. So a lot of my products and services require a little bit of explanation. I can do a video, a screencast video. I can show somebody how to use one of the programs that I'm referring them to or a tool before the sale happens. So this gets people thinking, yeah, I could do this, or, oh, I see how that works. That makes sense to me. I can buy this product. It would work for me. I love video as a sales tool because it operates with double duty. If a client asks you a question or one of your salespeople a question and the salesperson has a video explaining it, it's a lot easier to send the client the link to the video. It takes a lot less of that salesperson's time. The client can watch the video. They can visualize what's going on or what they need to know rather than a salesperson explaining it to them on the phone or via a lengthy email, and that frees that salesperson up or that customer service person up to handle another client. So it's easier for the client, it's easier for the salesperson, it's much more efficient. Okay, so here's the question I get most of the time. My sales process is to get people to my website and to get people to pick up that phone and call me. And I really think that's a great sales process if you can get people to do that. If your product or service is very complicated, you will likely need your client to talk to a salesperson or to yourself to make the sale. But at the same time, there is a way to use video on your website that doesn't inhibit that call. So you want to be sure you're using your salespeople efficiently and that you're explaining everything to your clients. Think of how much more your salesperson can sell if they don't have to repeatedly explain the same thing over and over again, and that video is available on your website. And we'll talk a little bit about calls to action at the end of videos so that clients will pick up the phone and call, or will land on your website, or will land on an upsell product or a cross-sell product, that sort of thing. So that's my my answer to that. Any way you can help a client understand something is a good thing, in my opinion. And I think sales has changed drastically over the last 10 years. We can find anything we want to find on the internet. The salesperson is a guide, and they help us make decisions. But if we can get those video explanations out there, all the better. So that brings me to number 4, after sales support. So your client has purchased something and they're really stuck on a program that you've sold them, or they don't understand what they get with their service, that sort of thing. How-to videos accessible after the purchase are great ways to deal with that because it doesn't tie up customer service person's time. And so very similar to the salesperson, it doesn't tie up their time, and it's a better way of explaining things to the clients. They can see what's going on. You can demonstrate that in a video. You can show them how-to videos, you can show them troubleshooting videos, you can show them best practice videos, and there is a company out there that's doing a really great job of this. They make Kinesio tape. KT tape is the brand. If you've ever seen athletes, if you're watching the Olympics now, I realize they're more visible on summer Olympians because of the clothing, but the KT tape are these colored bands of tape that you see holding different pieces of muscle in place. And I've used KT tape myself on different occasions because I'm a long-distance runner, so I'll tape up my knee, I'll tape up my ankle if it's got a little niggle. KT tape does a great job of showing their clients exactly how to use their product. So this is their website. I'll show you with my mouse. They've got a box up here called instructions, and there are instructions for use on every part of the body with KT tape. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the KT tape video really quickly right here. If it's going to play for me. Come on. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Chris Harper, and with me is Michaela, and we're here to demonstrate an application for full knee support. You can use this application for patella tracking problems, tendon issues, instability, or general knee pain. Some causes may include overuse, muscle imbalances causing patella tracking problems, or other soft tissue injuries such as ligament or meniscal tears. KT tape helps by providing stability, relieving pressure, and improving muscle function. For this application, we're going to position this knee in 90 degrees, and we're going to take our first piece of...
And so basically, Chris, who tells everybody what his expertise is here, I really like that part of the video. He says that he's a physiotherapist. He gives a little bit more credibility to using KT tape. Okay, good point there. Goes through and explains how to use KT tape for various kinds of injuries on each video. And I think it's a really brilliant use of YouTube. You'll notice the first thing that they do in the KT tape videos is they have a little introduction, a little music, gives the name of their company, but it also highlights different parts of the body. So if you've purchased your KT tape for wrapping your ankle, you can see, oh, I can use it on my quad as well. It gives you, it's not really an upsell in this case, but it gives you more uses for the product right off the bat in the video. And as I mentioned, Chris gives his credentials as a physiotherapist, and that gives credibility to the product. So there are a couple of different things I like about that particular use of YouTube. So that's number 4, after sales support. I've personally used the KT tape videos a number of times, and I think they're great. And the number 5 use, number 5 use for video in your business is what I like to call value added. So what we're doing right now, DirectPay has done a really good job of this, is they've created this whole educational package for their customers of webinars for small business owners. Small business owners, maybe large business owners as well. It's really brilliant. It doesn't really have much to do with what they're selling, but it is something that supports their clients to make more sales, and they are a sales processing company, so that helps. The other thing that they could do that's really smart, okay, is they invite people like me. I'm outside of their circle, but they find professionals who have something to say about particular topics, and they invite them to do webinars. So what does that do for DirectPay? That gets me, of Stefanie of Host Management, to send an email to my list to sign up for this webinar. My list enters their email details on the webinar sign-up form because they're interested. And now DirectPay has captured the email details of not only their list, the people that are interested in getting these webinars that they send out the notifications to, but also to my list of clients. it's actually great if companies are offering good content. So you don't mind putting your information into DirectPay's website or subscription form because you know you're getting good content, and that's what you've done that for. It's brilliant. It substantially increases their marketing list. So what you need to do to have a value-added YouTube or video platform is you need a mailing list with subscription capture, and you need a method of delivering the webinars. In this case, DirectPay is using GoToMeeting. So that is another way to use video for your business. The sixth way is one of my favorite ways, and it is employee training or salesperson training. So if you're a business owner, you know how time-consuming it is, especially if you're a small business owner, when you hire somebody new to train them on all of your systems. So what I've suggested to several of my clients is you already have processes, you already have tools that you use, you have programs, computer programs you use in your business. They're set up for you, they're customized for you a lot of the time. The next time you hire a new employee, when you're training them, videotape, screencast videotape your computer programs. I'm going to show you how to do that. Videotape your computer programs and videotape your training so that the next time you hire somebody, you can use your videos and it doesn't take you so much time. It also standardizes the training process, which is really important, I think. And you can always update your videos if you change the program, or if you need to add something, you can always add something. What I'm actually going to suggest for this group, since you're so interested in using video for your business, is the next time you hire an employee, have them create the videos of the training processes. Then what you have in your business is another person who knows how to do the video screencast creation and the uploading to YouTube and that sort of thing. So train them how to edit it, and then do videos of training them how to edit your videos, etc. And you've got somebody else at your company other than you who can create and edit video content. Plus, they've learned other things that you want to teach them better than anyone who went before them because they're creating the videos about them. So that's a really good way to use video for employee training, especially the first time. The last way I've come up with or devised to use video in your business is actually my very favorite way. My favorite use of video is team and salesperson inspiration and motivation. So I've done sales before. I've been in sales for a very long time, and sales is difficult. If you're an entrepreneur, you know that. You know that you have to spend a lot of time digging up leads, digging up opportunities, and servicing those opportunities, turning them into clients. And sometimes you hit a slump, and sometimes you're demoralized. And there is a constant need for inspiration and motivation in an office of a sales team. And just to let everybody know, I'm working in a real estate office. I work with a lot of realtors. There are 30 of them in this office. And everybody hits a little rough patch every once in a while. Even if you don't hit a rough patch, just a little motivation or inspiration or a way of thinking about things can really help change someone's perspective, and maybe that will help them make a sale. So I want to show you a quick video that I love for motivation. One of my favorite things about this use of YouTube is you don't actually have to create the videos yourself. Do a quick YouTube search. YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world after Google, and you will find a motivational video or an inspirational video for any kind of message you want to put out there. I use these a lot at sales meetings, so I'll try to have a message with my sales meeting, and at the end of the meeting, we'll have a little video to demonstrate that message. And you can't make this stuff up. I can't create this content. It is the best way to get across my message, to find somebody who's a motivational speaker who's already recorded it and put it up on YouTube. So let's try this video.
And now before I wrap this up, let me show you one last example of how all these techniques go together. And this is not an assignment for the Geographic, but a big advertising campaign I did for Dewar's Scotch. And they sent me over to Scotland with an obscene budget and a crew of 9 and 3 clients to watch over me, you know, no pressure. And one of the things they asked me to do was photograph salmon fishing on Scotland's River Tweed. And man, again, I'd done my homework. I knew what I wanted. I came down that windy road to the River Tweed. I had images in my head of backlit salmon and silver cataracts and leaping fish, and the windy road delivered us, and there it was. Looked like the East Sandusky River, the river without drama. I turned to my art director. I said, "What are we going to do?" He said, "I don't know. I'm car sick. I go back to the road." So it was up to me. You know, how many times every week is it up to you? I got talking to one of the guides, the gillies, the gentleman there in the foreground. Each beat of the river, each stretch has a different guide, a different gillie, and they know every rock and every shoal and every riffle. And he told me that salmon fishing in Scotland's a very formal affair. You wear a coat and a tie and a hat and chest waders. I'm getting intrigued. And then he told me that when you catch a salmon, you bring it up to the fish hut, and in that hut is a leather book, and in that book is listed every salmon that's been caught on that beat in the last 100 years. Now I'm getting intrigued. Now I'm seeing this great formal dance that these guys are doing, this salmon gavotte on the river, you know. And then he said, "You know, laddie, there was mist on the water this morning. That's unusual for this time of year." And my intellect climbed all over it and said, "I want to be in the place of most potential." So I'm out there 2 hours before dawn, and when the sun starts coming up, I got the boat, I got the gillie, I got the fisherman, I got the right lens, I got the right focus, I got my first right answer. I got room up there for tight, a little bottle of scotch. I know what I'm doing, right? And then my intuition starts screaming at me. It says, "Turn around, DeWitt. You're shooting the wrong way." Yes, sir, I listened to it. I turned around, man, that was really getting nice. I'm trying to pay attention to realize that this photograph is made by body language, not by facial expression. Get that right on the two guys. And at the same time, my intellect realized that the sun's going to come up behind those trees, so I yelled at the guys to get in the boat and rowed down there because I want to be in the place of most potential. And man, now it's really getting nice. And talk about having my technique down. I've got a walkie-talkie in that boat, yes. I'm not worried about making mistakes. I'm just looking for the next right answer, and they just kept coming. And this was the final ad. Why would a man rise before dawn to fish for salmon on Scotland's River Tweed? Why indeed? The good things in life stay that way. So that's how all these techniques go together.
Okay, so that's a video that I used in one of our sales meetings here, basically to ask people to take a different perspective. What happens if we keep looking for the opportunities? What happens if we turn and go in a different direction? I can find a YouTube video within 5 minutes on almost any topic that a salesperson is struggling with, and so can you. It's super easy. All you have to do is search. And the other thing I do is I keep track of any videos I've seen that are motivational or have a certain message, and I keep a list just in case I need to pull them out for team inspiration or team motivation. So that's my favorite use because I don't have to do much. It's really easy, and it's really easy for employers to use that as well. So let's talk a little bit about content now that we've gone through 7 uses for YouTube in your business. I hope those 7 uses have given you some inspiration and some thoughts about how you can use video in your sales processes, in your customer service processes, in your team management and your salesperson inspiration processes, because these are all things that we have to do as entrepreneurs and salespeople and team members. Oh, I'm just going to mention one more inspirational video that I absolutely love that I've used quite a bit in quite a few presentations, is for, really relates to the quote I brought up about Maya Angelou. It is for T-Mobile. If you've ever seen the Welcome Home video for T-Mobile, and I usually start the presentation with the premise that everybody in the room who absolutely loves their cell phone company, raise their hand. And nobody raises their hand. Nobody loves their cell phone company. And then I show them the video that T-Mobile did in the Heathrow Airport, I believe it was, Welcome Home video. It's great. If you want to watch it, Google it. It will come right up, Welcome Home. And Then I ask them at the end how they feel about T-Mobile. And T-Mobile in that video has really exemplified they'll forget what you've done, they'll forget what you've said, but they won't forget the way you've made them feel. And so that's a really, really good one to get your salespeople and your team members and your customer service members thinking about taking care of their customers, making them feel good and special and unique and that sort of thing. So content. The biggest thing I have to say about content is you need a plan, you need a strategy. The worst thing people do with regard to content is they do a video here and they do a video there, and there's no rhyme or reason to why they're doing videos or how they're doing videos or their calls to action in the video, that sort of thing. So what we really need to do is sit down, come up with a plan, come up with goals. Okay, so how many videos are you going to release? What are the topics? What is the purpose? I hate marketing for the sake of marketing. It's much better to have some sales goals in mind. We want to drive people to this product or to this service, or we want to engage our customers in this way, that sort of thing. And then the other thing that sounds so simple, but nobody does it, well, some people do it, very few, is to build a calendar around your content plan. So build a calendar for a year, fill in the details for the next quarter, and then assess it every week. Okay, am I going to do these videos this week? Maybe something's come up. Maybe something in my industry has changed, and I've got to bump a couple videos. That's okay, but get in mind that you need to be doing your content regularly, and you need to schedule it. So another good point about content and your content strategy is, what are you expressing to your clients? Who are your clients? What do they want? What do they need from you? What value do you offer them? You must offer value to your customers. I want you to think about that. You must offer value to your customers. Another thing that we do as entrepreneurs is we try to offer value to the general public or to everybody. That doesn't help your customers. So we really need to dial down, think about what your customers want and who they are, and offer value to them. So again, with DirectPay, they're offering these business webinars because their clients are businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, entrepreneurs. They're not offering these business webinars with the idea that everybody in the whole world is going to want to watch them. And that's kind of what we have to get beyond as business owners. Unless you are McDonald's or Coca-Cola or Nike, you're not marketing to everybody. So that's something to really think about and consider. If you're stuck on your content plan, that's something host management can help you with, and I'll get to that at the end. If you don't really know what your clients want or what your ideals are as a company or the messaging that you want to portray, if you're really stuck on that, we can help you with that. I want to get to some creative video uses by companies. Okay, I've got a couple of examples here that are really great. You've probably heard about the Will It Blend guy who sold $300 blenders using YouTube. He was back in 2006, he was making these videos. And you've probably heard about the wine guy, who's Gary Vaynerchuk, who sold wine using YouTube. And it was interesting because you can't taste the wine on YouTube, but you can see his passion and you can see his description and you can kind of get a feel for what he's selling you. So BlendTech is a YouTube presentation. A couple of minutes each. You can look them up on YouTube. Do you want me to get into it now? No, I won't get into it now. I won't waste too much time on BlendTech. But if you do look them up, you see he will blend anything in his $300 blender. Crowbar, iPhones, really interesting. All you need is a little passion, creativity, and a crowbar to make videos. The latest video sort of campaign that I'm loving right now is for Rickard's Red Beer. And they are doing something called oh, I lost my train of thought. I'll show you. I'll show you instead. It's easier.
Perfect.
The rules of the round.
That's right.
The fancy pants. It's a typical night out at the pub with friends. Generally, this occasion calls for pints. In some cases, there is the issue of the fancy pants.
A friend requesting an elaborate concoction of disconcerting complexity and cost. Like a strawberry sunrise martini. So, what's the rule of the round? Naturally, the group has the option to forge ahead with regular round protocol. However, in this instance, the group has the option to declare fancy pants and force a friend into a onesie, or solo round. Upon arrival of the fancy pants order, friends may proceed with generalized mockery and chirping. Ah, look at Mr. Fancy Pants. Look at my martini, I'm so fancy. More rules, eh? Let's have a look, shall we?
So one thing I love about Rickard's Red Rules of the Round, number one, their videos are really short. Each of their videos is either 58, 59, or 60 seconds long. They don't go beyond that. They don't need to say much, but at the end of the video, you'll see they give you links to the next rule of the round. So you can click on this video link and see what the rule is for the first rounder. It's value for beer drinkers at the pub. It's great, it's fun, it's light, I love it. At the beginning, they've branded it with Rules of the Round and Rickard's Red. So the beginning of every video says that, and the end of every video says, see more Rules of the Round. Genius. Very, very, very smart marketing on behalf of Rickard's Red there. So you've seen a couple of things with regard to content. You've seen Google Glass, giving people a first-person experience of your product. You've seen Will It Blend. You've seen Gary Vaynerchuk, the wine guy, talk about different wines. You've seen some motivational speakers. You have seen Rickard's Red Rules of the Round. You have probably seen some instructional videos, so after-sales support videos. If you've ever done anything using a computer program that's an online system, nowadays every single provider has videos about how their programs work and what you can do with them. And if you've ever Googled a how-to, you've landed on YouTube, and maybe it wasn't the service provider, maybe it was a reviewer or just a user that makes a video about how to do anything, bake a cake, sew a dress, it doesn't matter, it's on video. So you have seen those uses for video. Now let's talk about best practices and things you should know about YouTube and making your own videos. I'm really not going to talk about any of the other video platforms because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. It's the most widely used, so your customers understand it. It's generally the most worthwhile to maintain in terms of a YouTube channel versus a Vimeo or any of the other video service providers. I really, really think if you're going to have a presence and make it easily shareable, YouTube is the place to be. I strongly believe that. Basically, if you don't have a YouTube channel, it's very, very easy to set one up. Go to youtube.com and create a login. If you have a Gmail account or a Google Analytics account or any kind of Google account, it's the same thing. You can have a YouTube account. If you're stuck on setup of your channel, the most genius thing that YouTube has done is they have created a YouTube channel about YouTube and how to use it. So if you search YouTube Help, this is what you're going to land on. It's the YouTube Help channel, and it has 1-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute videos on pretty much everything you can imagine that you can do with YouTube. It is a wealth of information. Even if I get stuck, oh, I forget how to add a link in a box on the end of this video like Rickard's Red has done, YouTube has a video about that, and it's 1 minute long. So very, very, very easy to use. You can also do a lot of your video editing right in YouTube. So if you've created a very basic screencast video and you've uploaded it to YouTube and you want to change a couple of things, you want to add a title, you want to put your company website at the bottom of the video, inside the video, you want to make it clickable, YouTube tells you how to do that. So what I'm going to do very, very quickly before we get to creating screencast videos and real-life videos is show you what these YouTube videos are all about. This one is just 1 minute long, and it is about annotation types on YouTube. And this is one of the questions I get asked the most. So this will show you how to add that title, how to add that annotation, call to action, and a couple of the other annotation things that you can do within YouTube.
You'll see a list of all the different annotation types.
Whoops. Doesn't want to go back for me. Hold on, Prezi, you can do it.
All the different annotation types. Use speech bubble for a comic book effect. You can even drag the tail of the bubble right and left to get it in the spot you want. Note adds a semi-transparent box. Write text here and resize the box. This is great for pointing out important info to your viewers. Title adds a big, bold title. Use it at the beginning of your videos or during transitions. Finally, spotlight and label are both annotations that frame a spot on your video. Subscribe for more YouTube tips and tricks.
So as you can see, it's very, very easy to figure out how to do all of these things on YouTube. What's really important is your content and your strategy to make sure there's always a follow-up call to action at the end to get your clients where you'd like them to be, either on your website or on another video or on your product page or picking up the phone and calling you, for example. Oops. Oh, I pushed the escape button. Okay, so if we go back to this slide here, upselling and cross-selling, again, we just mentioned it, something that can be added right to your YouTube videos. You've all seen those videos. Just basically making sure you're building those into your sales process with your video. How do we make great screencast videos and video animations? There are two apps that I use. The first app is the app I'm using now, which is called Prezi. It makes a slick, I would call it a slick presentation. You can add links, you can add images, you can add videos as you've seen. And with a company called Prezi Base, Prezi is spelled P-R-E-Z-I, or if you're American, P-R-E-Z-I, PreziBase.com, they will actually take your Prezi, and for a couple of bucks, they will make it into a movie, put a music to the background, and you can have a presentation with text and with images, moving presentation similar to this. See, it goes in, it goes out, all set up as a video for you to upload to your YouTube channel. If you'd like to do something even more interesting, but you don't want to be on video, I hate being on video, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that really don't like being on video, you can use an app called Powtown. So basically, go to powtown.com. This is their logo, and this is what they do.
So you know what it's like when you want to impress your clients with an amazing presentation? You take your graphs, add some clip art, and spice the whole thing up with some fancy transitions. But somehow, it doesn't always have the desired effect. So one day you come across one of those super cool promotional cartoons and you think to yourself, wow, something like that would definitely catch my client's attention. But then you find out that it costs like $1 gazillion to make. So you start scouring the web for a tool that can create extraordinary presentations for free. It's just that nothing out there is just quite the thing you're looking for. This tool just moves pictures around, and this one swivels so much you get seasick. And to operate this one, you have to be a rocket scientist. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a tool that allows you to create professional-looking animated presentations and cartoon-style videos just by dragging and dropping stuff onto a page? Well, now there is. Powtoon is a new tool that is so simple and intuitive, it allows anyone who ever used PowerPoint or Keynote to easily evolve their presentation to awesomeness. Powtoon contains themes of animated characters and crops which you can just drag and drop onto your slide and create eye-catching and fun presentations that can be presented in person or turned into animated videos with the click of a button to be shared on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Now your presentations will definitely keep your audience hooked. Powtoon brings awesomeness to your presentation.
Created using Powtoon.
Okay, so they've used Powtoon to create a video about using Powtoon. It's super simple. It's really easy. You don't have to be on camera. Your hair doesn't have to look nice. You can be in your pajamas, and you can get your point across to your audience. I just want to mention that both Powtoon and Prezi have free versions, and then there's upgraded versions if you'd like to do more advanced things or longer videos. So for Prezi, the upgraded version is $159 a year, and it gives me a desktop to client, which means I can create Prezi presentations on my computer, and they can stay on my computer. I can save them there. Otherwise, free Prezi, you create an account where you log in, you create your Prezi online, and you can make a free Prezi private, but at the same time, it has to be, you can't make it so that other individuals can edit it, so it can't be a collaborative tool. You can also make public Prezis that people can share and use and recycle. So that's something that's interesting about Prezi. Powtown is about I think it's $59 a month for the non-free version. So the free version allows you to make 5-minute videos or less, which I think is great because your videos should probably not be longer than 5 minutes if you're going to catch the attention of your audience. Even instructional videos should be less than 5 minutes. You can create Powtown videos 5 minutes or less. They are branded with Powtown underneath them for the free version, and you cannot download the video file. If you want to get into really making videos that you can download, have the files on your computer, and edit them on your computer using different editing software, etc., then it's the upgraded Powtown. So there's a couple of different levels of payment. The first one I think is $55 or $59 a month. None of those things create a screen capture video. What do I mean by screen capture? I mean that I take what is on my computer screen and I capture what I'm doing. So if I go over here, you can see my meeting notes, and I can capture a video of what I'm doing on my computer. I can do a lot of demonstrations. So there are a couple of screencast video capture programs I use. The first one that I recommend to almost everybody that they have on their computer is called Jing, J-I-N-G, by TechSmith. It also captures images. So Jing, there's a free version, and then there's a $15 a month version, $15 a year version, which is well worth it. I'll just demonstrate it right now. There's a little yellow sun that exists on your computer, and you outline an area, and you can either capture an image by clicking this button here, or capture a video of less than 5 minutes by clicking this button here. And Jing also has capability to share direct to YouTube. So now you can see my whole computer. There you go, guys. So Jing is a really handy little tool for screen image capture, okay, and for short video capture. It does not have the editing capability of another product that is created also by TechSmith, by the same company, which is called Camtasia Studio. So this is Camtasia Studio. Camtasia Studio is an excellent program for editing video. It also uploads direct to YouTube and several other video programs. It takes a little bit of getting used to, of learning, but they also have instructional videos on how to use Camtasia for video editing, so that's very, very handy. And it's not cheap. So if you have a Mac, it's $99. Then you own the program. It is a heavy program. It does have a lot of features. You can make fantastic videos of any length with this program. And then it's $300 for the Windows version. So that is a little bit pricier. If you're going for short videos, Jing is a great way to do it, or using Powtown, where they create a video and you can export it to YouTube but not download it. Two things I use. What about in-person videos? So in-person videos, whoops. We did that already. Come on, guys. In-person videos, what are the best things to use in terms of cameras? Really, it depends on what your video strategy is, and if you're the very authentic 2-minute ranting kind of video, or if you're trying to do something really slick and professional. It's really going to depend on your strategy. But what are the two biggest reasons people turn off your video when they land on your YouTube presentation or your video? Two biggest things. One, terrible sound. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not standing outside in a noisy environment with wind blowing if you're trying to explain something clearly. You definitely want to make sure that you don't have phones ringing, that you don't have dogs barking, that you don't have babies crying. These are things that have nothing to do with the equipment. It has everything to do with planning and strategy in your videos, because people will turn that off. In terms of cameras, the other thing that people will turn your video off and click away from your screen is things that are going to cause them to be motion sick. For at the very, very, very least, if you're going to video something in real life, live, use a tripod. Or if you're going to do something that's really professional and you have a budget, hire a videographer, because they know what they're doing, they have the right equipment, they have the right equipment for sound. If you want to do something once a week, a video strategy where you're doing a content strategy once a week, a couple times a month, and you want to look at cameras, go to the nearest Best Buy, Future Shop, Camera Place, and test them out, because you're going to be using this. You could have a budget of $300 or $2,000, I don't know, but test them out, see if they're usable for you, and the person there will be able to help you with the latest, the greatest, and the cheapest. In terms of sound, if you're sitting in front of your computer, the latest models of your laptops and your iPads and that sort of thing, the microphones are fine to do a screencast video with sound, but make sure you listen to your video afterwards, and if the sound is crackly, redo it, okay? So I would say have a script, redo your sound if you need to, make sure your video is not wobbly, use a tripod, or use a professional if you've got a budget, that sort of thing. Okay, I think I'm getting close on time, so I'm going to quickly run through my great video checklist. What do you do once you've got your video before recording? Here's the way to make the most out of your video. Have you scheduled your video topics for the week? Do you have a schedule? Do you have a strategy? Have you written and completed your video script? Write a little script. If you like to go off the cuff like I do, it doesn't have to be word for word, okay? But make sure you've got your talking points in front of you. And the benefit of recording something is that it's not live and you can do it over again. Okay, after recording, really important. If this is a video blog post, have I transcribed the dialogue into text? When I'm sitting here at my desk and I click on an article to read and it has a video and I'm in my office and there are 30 people around me, sometimes I don't want to play the video. Sometimes I just want to know what the video is about. And so I put the text under all of my videos. There are programs that will transcribe them for you. Dragon Diction will transcribe your voice into text. Also, I'm sure you can find somebody on Fiverr or an assistant to quickly transcribe something that's a minute or less. Really, really easy thing to do. It's also going to help you in your search rankings. Have you maximized the YouTube description? So the little box underneath your video on YouTube, have you told what the video is about? Have you put a summary there? Have you put a link to your website? Have you put a call to action? Put it right there in that box. You get a whole lot of space there that is underutilized. So make sure you maximize your YouTube description. That's also going to help you in your YouTube search rankings. Remember, YouTube, second largest search engine in the world, and it's owned by Google. So videos boost you up in search engine rankings. Have you added a title or title slide to your video? We've seen this in the KT tape video. We've seen this in the Rickards Red video. It tells you right away what the company is, okay? With a title or a title slide. At the bottom, you could have a company wrap so that your website is always in front of people, that sort of thing. Have you added appropriate annotations, links on your YouTube? Your call to action, does it get your client to the product, to the service, to the point where they can purchase it? Is the post too long? Can you shorten or edit it? Make it under 2 minutes, if possible. Have you included your sign-off? Is there an opportunity to share more knowledge, upsell or cross-sell by linking to more content, videos, products, and website? Does your content conform to your business ideals? Does your content conform to your business's tone and voice? Does your video fit into one of your planned video categories? If not, scrap it. It's not part of your strategy. We've got to let go. If you don't know what these things are that I'm talking about, business ideals, tone and voice, you don't have a strategy, I'm going to get to that at the very, very end. I'm almost done. With regard to what host management can do to help you. Have you linked, if you've linked to another person's content or mentioned another business in your video, have you told them? Have you sent them a nice message saying, hey, I really liked what you had to say, and so, or I really liked your product, so I talked about it in my video? Because then they'll share it with their followers and their social media followers, and maybe even their email list, getting you more exposure. Have you sent them a link to the video? Have you added a link to this video to your regular newsletter that you send out with a catching headline and perhaps a summary? And have you promoted this video blog on Facebook, Pinterest, G+, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., all the social media sites that you belong to or your company belongs to? And lastly, have you shared this video with your team? Can they use it? Can your salespeople use it? Does it help them? Can your customer service people use it? Can your training people use it? Is it promotional? Is it motivational? Does it get across a company ideal that you want to portray to your whole company? All good things to consider. Take this checklist. When you make a video, make sure you've got all of those things. Okay, now that you sat through all of that whole hour, there is a hot deal you get for sitting through the webinar. Host management is mostly about implementation, so I can talk my ears off and your ears off about videos, about blogs, about social media, about sales processes. People get stuck on implementation. So what we do is we help people come up with their YouTube strategies. We help them come up with schedules. We even have accountability programs month to month to make sure you're on track with your marketing and your sales. So for this particular webinar, I'm offering either a YouTube or a blog strategy discount. And these two workshops include discovery session, an overview of the different channels you can use to reach your clients with video or your blog, brainstorming session of video use in your business, establishment of video strategy for your business, setup of mobile and tablet apps to help you create and share engaging videos, your video app training, Facebook video email training, all that's relevant to your strategy, and your engagement calendar. Okay, so your social media, your YouTube, blog, engagement calendar. So for this webinar, and only the people who've listened to this webinar, I'm giving a 40% off code. It's right there. It's YouTube 40, and that can be applied to either the YouTube strategy setup or blog workshop strategy workshop on my website, which is thesocialhost.com. And it's valid for one more month through my birthday, March 11th, 2014. Okay, I'm done.
Well done. That's a lot of material, Steph. Thank you so much. I put your website up on the chat box so people can link directly. And then I presume they just go through and use the code, which would be fabulous. A tremendous amount of information. Thank you so very much. I made a bunch of notes and comments on the chat bar there, and I know that everyone has been avidly attentive to what you've been teaching us. Wonderful ideas about how we can use video in our businesses, and I'm sure that there will be people who are coming to you for more of your expertise. I just want to thank everyone for their time today, and Steph particularly for giving us this wonderful presentation. Lots of videos for us to watch, lots of ideas for how we can use it in our businesses going forward. So on behalf of DirectPay, I just want to thank you all for attending. The recording for this will be available very shortly, and certainly by all means get in touch with Stefanie and find out how you can bring video into your business. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.